Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the college football preview series. I am your co-host, Reggie.
I'm your co-host, Norwood. Our powers combined. We are your HBCU homies, and we are here to talk Big 12 and the ACC, the Alliance, as some
Yes,
of you know them.
sir. Ladies and gentlemen, the Alliance is back. We are here. We are here.
It's
Please
something.
go back and watch the rest of the episodes. At this point, you have seen all HBCU preview, SEC preview, Big Ten preview, MEAC, SWAC, the others. We literally have put out an entire college football mini series, and we want to know what you guys have to think. You should see a graphic that will be coming out showing you our picks of who is going to win who we picked to win each conference. So we want to go you against us. And you never know. We may send you a 12 pack if you outbid us. Never know.
You got to beat me first.
So where you want to start, man? We're gonna get right into it. Let's get into it.
Well, I want to
This is
start.
the alliance.
I want to
Mid
start.
plus
We're going
mid
back to
equals
the
mid
Big
squared.
Ten versus SEC. That's where I want to start. But we here. We're gonna do something different. We're gonna start with your favorite conference, the Big 12.
They be lying though. It's really the big three. They just be lying to folks.
I don't think that this is not a big three. This is a three.
Ocean in the ocean.
This is a motion party and they can't get in. But we're gonna let's not belabor the point here.
I ain't got nothing to say.
I plan to enjoy more talking to Reggie and drinking beer than caring about this conference. I'm gonna be real with y'all. So now that we all got that out of the way, we can do what we want to do here. All right, we're gonna start with the defending champions, Texas Tech. Oh, you're right, correct. I tiered these out, and the tier for the top of the Big 12 is, I guess we got to go to the playoffs. The reason I say that is I do think the person who wins this conference is invited to the playoffs. I'm not sure if they deserve to be there, and I'm not sure if they're going to be good when they get there. But we shall see. And for the first ones, I have Texas Tech, BYU, and Utah ? Texas Tech, I don't know if they're going to be as good. They are defending champions. They went 12-2, 8-1 in league play. 7 preseason selections. AJ Holmes, defensive player of the year, 5 Red Raiders on the defensive unit. I can't think of the guy who they had who was Big 12 defensive player.
Who was defensive player? Oh yeah, the defensive end. Yeah.
Him. But outside of that, I'm not the most interested in these guys. I think that they're just okay. I don't think that this is and this is what happens, which I really hate, is you downplay these teams. You say, hey, man, this team's probably not going to be a contender. And then they get out like gangbusters and you look stupid. That's the risk you take when you have recorded opinions. And I'm okay with that. But I think that the Texas Tech Red Raiders are probably the best because they have the most NIL money. But outside of that, that's really it. They're looking to create some winning continuity, I guess is the best way to put it. Like, they're in this weird conference, but they've had the most money since the playoffs have really started. They've invested heavily into NIL, so they've done pretty well. They kind of bought their way to the top, very similar to another team we'll talk about later, SMU. And I think that counts for something. But outside of that, I'm not in love with any of these teams, not even the ones at the top, including Texas Tech.
So I got the contenders, as you said in the recap. Yep, Texas Tech absolutely blew the doors off everybody in this conference last year, culminating in a 34-7 beatdown of BYU.
And blew the doors off. This is a Jeep conference, so they ain't come with doors. So,
yeah, the screws were already stripped, but they basically eliminated BYU. They beat BYU so bad that BYU went 11-2 and did not make the college football playoff. Which
I didn't like that.
I wasn't for it. But this is what happens when you have that conference. So I agree with you though, putting Texas Tech and BYU in the top 2 tiers. I think those two teams have separated themselves. I would have said Utah there, but Utah just lost their rock in Whittingham. So for me, I have Texas Tech, BYU, and if I had to pick a third team, I picked Arizona. I think defense travels. I think Arizona plays pretty good defense. Brennan's uh, the way that he coaches defense there, and the way that they are basically a really physical team. Um, when you're a physical team in a finesse league, you can make some noise. So I think Arizona is the third team for me that I have.
I
Um,
got BYU because LJ Martin and a veteran defense. And Utah, I'm more just going on thinking that they're going to be mostly consistent, minus losing their coach. Morgan Scalley is going to come in and have to prove that he can be new Kyle Whittingham. But I think that the majority of their program is going to be consistent. And
I
Houston
agree.
is so trick baggy. They really haven't been good since they had Tom Herman. That feels like years ago at this point. And after that kind of
It was
flash in the
years
pan,
ago.
good year, that's basically been it for them. I would like for them to be good. Willie Fritz, do me a favor as a guy who lives here and make this team good, but I gotta see it before I believe it.
So I for Texas Tech, you know, for me, I think what could make them be have what could basically trip them up is this whole quarterback situation. Now, I do realize that they got Morton back, who, when the quarterback for Texas Tech last year got hurt, came in and played admirably, but they were going after Sorsby, who was betting, gambling, and jumping in and out of the draft and all of those things.
That
And
boy
that was
did a
a
little bit of
huge
everything.
he was the runner, boy. Tim Allen.
And I'm not sure if he
Um,
was even that good, to be completely honest with you.
coming from Cincinnati, that was something that's a good point you bring up. I was like, man, this is a lot of hoopla for a Cincinnati quarterback.
Now I'm going to be very clear here. Me and Reggie have had a bad experience with Cincinnati quarterbacks.
He was honest. You add in lying to
Right.
mid, gets what you get you. But so for me, I'm really making Texas Tech in tier one just for
Just
argument's sake.
because.
I'm not
All of
really.
this just because we don't trust this whole conference is gas station sushi. Don't trust it. Don't I want no parts.
BY BYU with LJ Martin, I do agree. And then of course they got Jack Kelly, who is the defensive everything for them, and Tyler Batty. But like I said, Arizona with Fifth and Burnett, I think that they can make some noise. They have a chance to be really good on offense, and I believe in Brennan's coaching to be good on defense. So that's what I have in tier one. Norwood instead of Arizona, he has Utah. But let me tell you, you can flip and flop them. It don't really matter. For us, I think. I guess the question is, do you believe in Texas Tech's elite defense? Because they lost a lot of players. They brought some back, but they lost a lot.
You're gonna have all of this is a proven conference. Now, that is the one thing about having a conference where you don't have the clear cut just we're going to be the top of the top is even if you're bad, even if you are Syracuse, Boston College, Bill Belichick, and UNC, if you got something over there that we don't know about, you could cause havoc. I mean, excuse me, I'm in the wrong one. If you're Oklahoma State, Colorado, or West Virginia, you could surprise us all.
So, surprises how? Well, we'll get there. So
Wait. Hold on. Y'all told me that Deion Sanders was going to be one of the best coaches in college football history. So
who said, every year somebody has It
No,
went from
man,
he's gonna be a
it's a
good
lot of
coach
people,
to
and this
Colorado, and
goes.
now somebody told you he's gonna be one of the best coaches in history. Somebody has told you an escalating story about Deion since we've been covering Colorado.
I have got now specifically. These are people who listen to the pod, but these are my frat brothers who have told me that Deion Sanders was the second coming of Nick Saban, and now that things have not gone that way,
Put them on Front Street. Screenshot that. You should have saved
I,
that.
I'm
That
telling you,
was crazy.
they beat me down bad about that. Oh, you don't. You are. I'm a Dion hater.
You are a
Everything.
hater. I wouldn't say a Deion hater. You're a
Deion
hater.
Sanders is my favorite athlete
That don't
of
change. You
all
can hate
time.
on your favorite athlete. You can hate
What?
on your favorite athlete.
So I've made it like I've considered this person my favorite athlete, but I'm a hater. How does that sound? Why would I even do that?
That's what makes you you. You hate so
No,
much that you will hate on the people you love and the people you hate. That's what things about makes you mysterious. We don't really know how you feel about a person because you feel the same about everybody.
well, I don't think that's see, and that is where I run into a lot of my personal issues now that we're here, which we're way more interested in talking about everything else other than the Big 12. But I got to hold you to a standard. Just because I like you doesn't mean that I now can't be realistic and hold you accountable for being, or in this case, not being what you are. And I think that people got in your famous phrasing is they got over their skis about Deion, and they like Deion, and they understand that he's marketable, and he came in Louis bags up. But I mean, you coached the team, and I think you did a good job in Jackson, but you're not going to be the greatest coach in Jackson history. You never won a
Yes,
Celebration Bowl. And I mean, now you move to Colorado, and I think that, and I said this, they should build him a statue for the amount of money that he raised. I think that was where he really maximized
in
his
debt.
potential. Well,
NIL has put everybody in debt.
I
So
don't, that part I don't want to hear about, because if not, you wouldn't. If not for Deion, you have no money nor no interest. He like,
your
and I'm not
team,
talking.
y'all was about to be like Idaho.
And I'm talking about like there you can be an NIL debt. That school, the applications that you were bringing in brought money to that school, not to your athletic department, to your university. Those are two different budgets. I'm not going to let you trick me into believing that they're the same. But with that being said, I just don't think that Deion has been that good of a coach. And we'll talk about him later, but it kind of is what it is.
Yeah, we'll get there. So for tier 2, you have called wasting time and money. This is the mid of the mid. You've talked about Houston, but you have not talked about anybody else. Why do you have Houston, Arizona, Arizona State, TCU, Iowa State, and Cincy as wasting time and money?
You got Dillingham in Arizona State. I think that there's an opportunity for them to be a little bit better, but I still don't think that they're going to be good enough in this conference. And if you're not good enough in this conference, you're not good enough. TCU, they were like a thing for a while, and then it seems like they've just not been able to get it back right with Sonny Dykes. That's questionable to me as far as, I mean, because it's a school with a ton of money. Like Texas Christian is no shortage of money. They are like basically little SMU they have all of their money. All the kids go to their school are rich. They have, I think they're definitely Nike, but maybe Jordan brand. But for what? To be mid?
Well, yeah.
And
So first off, don't even really want to talk about Houston. I have for tier 2, I have Utah. Utah is tier 2 because of Morgan Scalley. I have them tier 2 out of respect for the culture that Kyle Whittingham actually made at Utah. I think with Devin Dampier and Parker, to me, they could probably move up to tier 1 if Arizona isn't good. And I wouldn't be surprised if they do. They are a dark horse. I mean, it is what it is. They have 1,000-yard back, 1,000-yard, 2,000. almost 3,000 yard quarterback. Um, and they still play really good defense. I don't expect for that to change. But for me, I Houston don't believe in you. Iowa State, you just lost your man. For you have Iowa State on there. I have them as tier 3. I think. And Arizona State, let me tell you, when I looked up who they featured on Arizona State, they did Kenny Dillingham as the head coach and interior anchor CJ Fite. That was the only two, maybe three of Marion Miller, if you want, as the dynamic wideout. But that's the only thing they talked about for Arizona State. So I don't really believe in them either. And TCU has never rebounded from the national championship game.
And I guess let me also clarify. Let me give y'all the standings so you can understand why this thing is so mid. Is in the Big 12 last year, Texas Tech went 8-1, BYU went 8-1, Utah went 7-2. Now, this is everybody else. Houston 6-3, Arizona 6-3, Arizona State 6-3, TCU 5-4, Iowa State 5-4, Cincinnati 5-4, Kansas State 5-4, Baylor 3-6, Kansas 3-6, UCF 2-7, West Virginia 2-7, Colorado a whopping 1-8, and Oklahoma State not winning one singular game. So all of them 5-4s and below is basically the entire conference. And you looking good at 6-3 in the conference.
So I'm not gonna lie to you. This whiskey is got me feeling nice, and I don't necessarily need to talk about Oklahoma State. Now we could talk about Colorado because, as you said with Deion, I mean, if you can, I don't want to jump ahead. You can talk about whoever you want to, but I don't necessarily need to talk about Baylor or Kansas or Central Florida or West Virginia or Iowa State or Cincinnati.
I think that Baylor losing Art Browse it was a knockout punch. And sure, I want to be fair. It was right to fire him, but there has to be, like, your program cannot legitimately be one guy, or it can be, and then you're just going to suffer forever. And that's kind of where they are. Kansas, they had a season a couple years ago. UCF, they've been Scott Frosting. West Virginia is trying their best. Colorado is really the only other team here, and I will just say I've been looking at this social media for Colorado, and there was literally, they went viral. I think it was 2 weeks ago, and they said, "Ain't no way this is a college team." You look at the size of their players.
I was about to say that, bro.
And it looks like a middle school team. It don't even look like a high school team. And their response was, "Well, you come out here and see." Bro, you cannot say come out here and see and you went 1-8 in the Big 12. What do you want them people to come out there to do, and what do you expect them to see? But I guess my question here is Deion their coach going into 2027?
It all depends on how Brennan Marion and the installs this go-go offense from Sacramento State. Remember, Deion brought him in. So, because I think he actually was on his way to Southern. But
do you think that Deion
Sanders? I'm getting there, because you have Julian Lewis, and then you have a couple players transferring from Florida State. I think the offense can make them fun and relevant. By making them fun and relevant, that would be the way that Deion keeps his job. If they're not fun on offense and they're not good, then there's no reason in keeping you.
Do you have fun and lose?
Well, no. But that's what I'm saying. They can't continue to lose. The thing about this conference is They can be somebody getting fired, and then they could be right up there at number 4. Like, they can move up. But I would say no. And I think that if Deion has a bad season, which I see happening, let's look at their schedule while we talk about that. But while Deion has a bad season, I think that a player like Julian Lewis, Juju, former 5-star quarterback, is going to get a king's ransom to go somewhere, similar to the tackle that just went to LSU.
So their schedule: Georgia Tech,
Loss.
Weber State,
Win.
Northwestern, you should. I mean, Northwestern's at the bottom of the Big Ten. At minimum, they're equally yoked.
They're at the bottom of the Big 12.
I guess you're not equally yoked. Baylor, Texas Tech, Utah, Oklahoma, Kansas State, Arizona State.
Oklahoma State, not Oklahoma.
Oklahoma State, yes. Yes, correct. Kansas. Well, let me do this again. Texas Tech, Utah, Oklahoma State, Kansas State, Arizona State, Utah, Cincy, UCF. This is what I'm going to say about Deion Sanders. This is your chance.
My answer. Might change my answer.
If you can't do it with this, pack it up and go on home. This is a team-friendly schedule. You might not play anybody ranked after Utah.
Until you get to Texas Tech. Or after you.
No.
Or before. I mean, you got Texas Tech and Utah.
You're probably going to play 2 ranked teams for the season.
Yeah. And you also have the ability to sneak up on other teams because you have a whole new offense that you're implementing.
Oh, excuse me, 3 ranked teams. I forgot about Georgia Tech. They'll be top 25.
Yeah. Well,
if you can't do it with this schedule, they gotta send you home.
Boy, you tripping. I'm looking at your ACC schedule when we get there. You tripping. But yeah, so for Colorado, this is your year, Deion. 9-3 keeps your job. 8-4 keeps your job. Below 500 gets you fired.
Below 500 should get you thrown out like DJ Jazzy Jeff, bro.
It's gonna happen.
Like respectfully,
you go 1-8, 2-7, 3-6, 4-5. You're not gonna be able to do that not in this conference.
And I mean, that is one of the unfortunate parts about being Deion Sanders is the same way that people watch you, they're looking at you. And if you phone in another season, they're going to be on your ass. They're going to be on your ass, brother. That's really it for the Big 12. This is a conference of opportunity, I guess is the best way to put it. I don't think that we have any teams in here who are legitimate national championship contenders. I think that all of these are traffic cones for other teams. And that's pretty much where I
got to
believe
pick somebody, so I'm picking Texas Tech.
Sure, they got the money. But everybody
it would be funny
here
if
has
Deion goes on a run, though. If they go on a run and piss everybody off, I'd be the first one sitting here laughing at everybody, including myself.
I wouldn't hate it. Like, that would be best case scenario for this conference, probably, is to at least have something interesting happen where you're like, oh, look at this. They went on a run. And he gonna talk his shit. Like, the thing about him is he's entertaining as hell. So that's gonna be a real thing. So yeah.
Do you believe now?
Right.
No.
But yeah, no, hell no. But I would like it. I mean, at the end of the day, we want, like, he's better for this conference than probably anything else. Texas Tech just running away with it again is cool for Texas Tech, but for the rest of the conference, y'all just look like food. But with that being said, me and Reggie both taking Texas Tech until proven otherwise. They also proved that money is everything. Just buy your way to the top, and that's life.
Yep. So, ladies
Especially
and
if
gentlemen,
you own
we have
the Lakers.
we have done the Big Ten, the SEC, the MEAC, the SWAC, the others in HBCU football. And now we finished the Big 12. Thank you for watching. We appreciate it. Go ahead and press next. Go to the next episode.
We know you are.
It is the ACC. This was quick. And let me tell you, every time we talk about the Big 12, that episode be 17 minutes.
and could have been 7. We was more me
right.
already
We
talking about.
kind of veered off.
Wow, we talked about me. He and Deion. All right, man. Y'all, you heard what Reggie said. Peace. We out of here, man. God loves you. We love you. All of that. Man, peace.
Wait, hold on. So what should they do? Like, follow, subscribe. Thank you, my friend. We here for it.